Now, sadly, Biden and his border czar, Kamala Harris, they are totally ignoring this crisis as per usual. Today, Joe called the lid at 3 p.m. in the afternoon, barely worked all day. And it's obvious that Biden does not possess the mental or the physical stamina to be president. Now, that's why his fellow Democrat, well, Gavin Newsom is all but measuring the drapes in the Oval Office, in spite of what he might be saying publicly. In keeping with tradition, Newsom is looking to fail up, just like Biden, Harris, and good old Pothole Pete. Now, keep in mind, many years ago, Gavin Newsom's home state of California was one of the places to live in the country, one of the best places. California is now dying, hemorrhaging population at an alarming rate. This is a very real phenomenon. It hadn't happened in 175 years, and it will have long-term serious consequences for that state. In fact, for the first time in history, California is on track to lose population for the third straight year. Great job, Gavin. In 2022, California's net migration was negative 343,000. Now, think about that. That's nearly 1,000 people a day leaving the state, and new people are not moving in to replace those that are leaving. Let's contrast California with California. They have a net gain of more than 318,000 people moving into Florida. In other words, Florida is gaining almost 1,000 new residents every single day. It's good for their economy. Now, why are people fleeing California and flocking in droves to Florida? For starters, well, California's tax rate is downright abusive, while Floridians pay zero income tax, 0%. Now, the income tax rate in California can be as high as 12.3%. That is the highest in the entire country. Property taxes, they're also incredibly high. Even the state sales tax is higher than Florida's, and expect those taxes to go even higher because California now is losing more population. And Gavin Newsom, his current budget deficit is more than $22 billion and going higher. Now, meanwhile, DeSantis finished the year with a record $22 billion budget surplus. Take a look at your screen. High-tax states like California, Illinois, New York, and New Jersey all experienced negative migration in 2022, while Texas, Florida, Tennessee, the Carolinas, Utah, Idaho all saw massive gains. And it's not only just about taxes, because you know, a lot of this is related to the burdensome government regulations surrounding development. For example, California and many of these other liberal states, they are experiencing a severe housing shortage. Now, why would they have a housing shortage when so many people are leaving? Well, that's because prices are soaring, making these states unaffordable because it costs so much more to build a house because of all the burdensome regulation. And by the way, at that point, it becomes unaffordable for many Americans. As a result, California's homeless population is now the largest by far in the country. And then to make matters worse, you have woke criminal justice policies, zero bail, defund, dismantle the police, lax prosecution, and destroying California's major cities, which are littered with open-air drug markets and all these homeless encampments. California is also home to one of the largest populations of illegal immigrants. Not only is California a sanctuary state, but it also provides cash benefits and taxpayer-funded health care to millions of illegal immigrants, and free education, and free health care, and free pretty much everything. And meanwhile, law-abiding Californians, they are now forced to adapt to new restrictions every single year, including bans on gas-powered mowers and chainsaws and other equipment. And more disturbing than that, the state schools and other institutions, they are obsessed with equity, critical race theory. And let's not forget, California was also home to some of the worst COVID lockdowns in the country. Of course, that didn't affect Gavin Newsom. He continued to enjoy his fanciful dinners out with friends when nobody else in California could. Most restaurants were not allowed to be opened at the time he was enjoying that dinner. His kids, they remained in his private schools that he was paying for. Meanwhile, all the kids in California in public schools, they were not allowed to attend school in person. Schools in Florida, for example, they opened successfully in August of 2020. And by the way, no mask mandates either. So make no mistake, Newsom is a terrible politician, a sad excuse for a leader. And recently, while Multiple counties in California were experiencing a state of emergency due to severe winter weather. Newsom, he was out enjoying a tropical vacation in Mexico. Now, compare that to Governor DeSantis, his leadership in the wake of the Hurricane Ian. It is not a mystery. There is a reason California, New York, Illinois, New Jersey, and all these other states are dying, and Florida, Texas, the Carolinas, and Tennessee are flourishing. Take a look.
When the world went mad, Florida stood as a refuge of sanity, a citadel of freedom for people throughout the United States and indeed throughout the world. We empowered people to make their own choices. And if you look over the last 4 years, we've witnessed a great American exodus from states governed by leftist politicians, imposing leftist ideology and delivering poor results. In Florida, we will never surrender to the woke mob. Our state is where woke goes to die.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.